What is happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota right now is incredibly disturbing. I debated for a really long time whether or not to say something on this topic because, frankly, it feels like my civic duty to do so at this point. I have a platform, and I don't think the news outlets in America are actually being allowed to adequately cover what is happening. However, all the algorithms downgrade political content of mine, and I'm not sure how much it will help, but from Norway, it seems like the only thing I can do. I assume Norwegians are possibly being more informed of this than Americans, but I keep hearing Minnesotans say that this information is not getting out. As a former fact checker, I have checked that this information is being reproduced by at least some reputable media organizations before I tell you about it. We all know about Renee Good, but a few days ago, a woman who is disabled was dragged from her car. She's a U.S. citizen. They broke the window, dragged her out as she tried to go to her doctor's appointment. She repeatedly told them. I saw the Minneapolis police chief visibly shaken by this incident. But police are being told that by ICE that ICE doesn't care about the police authority. There's also this footage of two boys, I think they're 16 or so, being dragged out of their workplace at Target, thrown on the ground brutally, and news reports confirmed they were dumped in a nearby parking lot after it was proven that they were U.S. citizens. Mind you, it's not a requirement that we as U.S. citizens go around with our passports to prove these things. Women who are not necessarily being targeted by ICE are saying the children's hospitals that normally have a 3 to 7 hour wait are empty. People are scared to get their infants medical care because of ICE. They tear gassed a car with a 6-month-old baby in it who then wasn't breathing and refused to let the father call a hospital for 5 minutes. They are going into homes with battering rams. They took this man out after admitting and realizing that they had the address of a former resident, dragged him out in literal freezing weather in a bathrobe out of his shower. Incidents like this, if you look at grassroots information, you hear endless stories. These people are basically government authorized thugs. And now Trump has troops on standby to release there, at which point the governor will release his National Guard. And I assume that means we're in a civil war. I don't know if this will help. It will probably be downgraded by the algorithm, but I couldn't stay here making silly content anymore. In the event that this informs one extra person of what is happening, if you haven't heard these stories, it needs to be publicized. So at least I'm doing my small little part.